Good evening all and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP and joining me on this fine Friday evening, I nearly get mixed up with my days here, is my good man Mr. Ryan Clifford. First of all, I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody's well and you've enjoyed your festive period as much as we have. Ryan, it's good to have you back on with us, mate. It's good to see you smiling as well, mate. Obviously, that must mean your subscription's up for a half-10 show, wee man. But I'm sure we'll get into that as we go.
Aye, well, with Christmas, mate, so I did put on a special show. So, it's turned out to be good for the subs, mate. But, I'm all good, mate. Well, say all good. I'm not all good for yesterday, but I'm all good in general. So, festive period was fine, absolutely fine, mate. All good, and also happy New Year yourself and all the viewers as well, and everybody have a good time, the family, and good Christmas time as well. So yeah, all good, JP. Obviously, we'll get into the disappointing result yesterday, but it's not the best to start of the new year, JP. But obviously, by the rumours, or no rumours now, it's kind of confirmed, closely confirmed now that Tierney's coming back in a pre-contract and loan deal in a full contract. So we'll talk about that as well and add some positivity, shall we call it, to the episode tonight. So all good, mate. I hope you're good as well. And as still mine to live in Glasgow, so wrap up, Warren, please.
Yeah, and like you said, obviously, well, coming for myself, there'll certainly be as much positivity as there was in the other night when we were on Monday night before the new year. Because, like I say, Celtic, there's never a dull moment with Celtic, and there's lots of good things happening still with Celtic, and I think some of that's been lost in the last 24 hours as well. And we'll get into that, but obviously. But we're going to come to some comments. I want to say a massive Happy New Year to you guys that are tuning in with us. I hope Santa was good to you, and I hope you enjoyed your Hogmanay parties and your kind of whatever bashes you were at, and as long as it wasn't sash bashes, because you'll be kicked right off in this. That's for sure. First up tonight, we've got Angie M, evening JP, Ryan in the chat. What a disappointing score yesterday. Didn't see that coming, and I don't think Brendan did either. Jerry Burns, he said, evening lads and everyone in the chat. Where did we start with that performance? Chris Murray, evening boys and the chat. Got to be lost yesterday, but on the bright side, it's still -11. Hail, hail. And Big Barry McCandless, who is a contributor to the show, he says, evening gents, let's have a podcast of clarity, context and common sense. Let Rangers celebrate a meaningless game, and we'll continue to dominate and win the real derbies that actually matter. Hail, hail. Interesting comment, that one. P. McLaughlin, Happy New Year, everyone. And John Clifford, listen, we all know it was Yang's fault. Hi, John. That's that's actually quite good. I actually don't know where to go with that comment, but okay, I'll let you away with that one. Jason Tobin, Big Jason used to be on the podcast. Morning, lads. I don't know what time of the day as where you are, Jason, but okay, we'll go with that, mate. Honky tonk performance, but we dust ourselves down and go again. Yeah, that we do it, and that's what Celtic do. We need to do it quickly because he's changed it. He's went, evening lads. So there we go. P. McLaughlin says we played a 0-0-0 formation yesterday. Thomas Burns says it's about how we react. A winning Sunday is needed. Yeah. What I'll ask, folks, is if you are tuning in with us, please hit the like button. That would help us. And if you don't already, or if you haven't already done it, and you get the time, please hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. We don't charge you any money. And it allows you to join the family of the Celtic Unrestricted View lads. Helps us to keep coming on and having these kind of chats with yourselves. So everybody that's watching, if you can, please go and hit the like for us. That would help. Ryan, obviously, why we're all here we are going to get into it. Obviously, we went on Monday and we had a chat regarding yesterday's match, and obviously the pre-match build-up for it. And yeah, obviously, I'll get your thoughts before I give mine, if that's all right with you.
I'm not going to right away, mate. Obviously, we'll go through during the podcast, certain parts of the game, or players, or things that happened in the game, and then you can look at the context as well. So it's not just all doom and gloom, but most of my chat will be just on the game. I've still got to put in context of what we've done and how amazing we've been and what we've done.
Yeah.
But the majority for what I'm here for is to talk about the game. So, aye, overall, I think it was very poor. I can accept getting beat. I've played in games where you beat off your rivals, IP. We've seen Celtic get beat during the 10 season where we get, shall I say, excuse my French, but pumped during the 10 season after them. We've been beat before off them. We get beat off them.
I grew up, if this helps, mate, I grew up in the 90s.
Aye,
so
that's what
I
I'm
know what
saying.
it's like
So
to...
we've all seen getting beat off derby games. And listen, it happens. And I did say, as much as I was really positive and upbeat about the game, I did say that was averages. It was going to come at some point. It was going to come, but it's not really a result that's hanging me. I don't mind getting beat. I don't mind it. But what I do mind is when a performance is like that. That's what's really no anger me now. I've had a good. I try to get a good sleep, but I got a decent sleep. You wake up, have your coffee, and you look through the game again. Right, okay, settle down. The dust is finished, and you look through the game. We kind of take your emotion to the game.
Let's talk about the performance, Ryan. What you putting that down to yourself? What's on your mind regarding that?
I don't know what we can put down to. I really don't know. We were making it all started from obviously Liam Scales passing the ball in the middle of the park. Then we gave the ball away there, and then it leads into the goal. And I actually watched that game before I came on the highlights. Right, see if you've. I don't know if it was Pep Guardiola that started all this playing for the back stuff, right? But why do teams persist in playing for the back when there's nothing on? There's nothing wrong with putting the ball either in Rose Head or into the corner. There's nothing wrong with going long. You don't need to stick to your principles every time you get the ball at your feet. There was times even yesterday when we were sitting at the back, they're playing it to face Michael, to Vickers, to Taylor. I'm like, just go along with it. You don't need, because you're always inviting yourself with pressure if you keep putting the ball back. And I just thought, some of the guys that we say that are good players and as well, just under pressure, just give a ball away. Like, I'm not wanting to single out players, but the two players who I thought were terrible with the ball at their feet was Atati and Scales. The two of them were absolutely dreadful. And I don't want to sit and say guys are dreadful, but on the performance, it's... I can accept getting beat, JP, but see when guys are running more than you, tackle more than you, showing more desire and fighting. That's what I can't accept, and that's what it looked like. It looked like complacency for me. Again, it probably wasn't, but it just looked like they just thought they would stroll up there and get a victory. I think I put my in the chats with yourself and that, and I think it was after it was the second goal or before the second goal. There was 6 players jogging back. That's unacceptable at any level of football. Just jogging back, that's not acceptable, and that was the mindset through the full game. But it all sets off for the mistake for Scales in the middle of the park, and then the score. That sets the tone for the game, because we actually started the game pretty well. As soon as we get the centre, Vickers hit it long, and we actually had the ball. But we're doing fine. And then that wee mistake, and like I've always said to you and Alan and everybody else that we speak to, you can have the best team in all possession, but it only takes a split moment in a game and it turns it against you. And for me, I think as soon as that happened, you just seen the game, JP, like we're getting the ball away, nothing was coming off, and then they get the second goal. So the offside goal, you're thinking, right, nothing's going to happen for us there. Listen, and it can happen. You can get beat, but I've calmed down a bit now for yesterday and this morning, because I was really angry with the performance. I'm still angry with it, but I'm not going to sit and go over the top. But the performance for me was very hard to take in last night, because I can't accept the performance like that. I can accept getting beat, but I can't accept when a team really battles you and just doing the basics that you should be doing. But listen, look, we could dive into it so much, and then we'd end up slaughtering the full team. And you can't slaughter. Listen, you can slaughter individuals for certain things, and we can slaughter the team on that performance, but it shouldn't detract for the so far this season. But I know what Barry's saying about a meaningless game, but to me, the games are never meaningless. I still want to win them. I don't want to get beat. The only saving grace is that we are so ahead. If we weren't so ahead, I don't think that performance would have happened. If that was like a must win to go top or to go 6 points clear, I don't think that performance would have been like that. So I'm going to put it down to maybe a bit of complacency. Maybe I'm wrong. You've got to give him credit as well, by the way. Listen, they out-battled us in certain areas of the park and they go to the better days, but I'm not saying that's out of sour grapes, Stripey, right? They were better than us, but they weren't brilliant. They weren't brilliant. They were feeding off your mistakes. Every goal just came through your mistakes, by the way. It wasn't like they played through us with nice football or they scored a world day or it was for me it was through your mistakes. Granted, you've got to give them credit for being clinical and taking that advantage. I'm not sitting saying here they didn't deserve it because they did. They blew us away in terms of battling more than us and wanting it more than us and just showing up on the day. But I want to say they were brilliant. They did nullify us in terms of tactically a game personally. That's 2 games now. I think they've kind of stopped us playing as well. So, but look, overall in context, it's not going to get me down about the season or the team and stuff. But on the performance, I think you could dissect it and say it was really poor, mate.
Yeah, we comment for James Kennedy there. He says the atmosphere got to the players, they froze. No, that wasn't the case at all, James. They've went there in that atmosphere before and they've won comfortably. So that wasn't the case at all. Listen, there's no other way potentially to dress this up other than it was a very, very bad day at the office. And by the way, not just for 1 or 2 of them, for the full team. You know, every one of them made mistakes and it was just one of the days where we just could not get a foothold in that game. We couldn't get started. And then obviously the goal happens and their crowd gets up and a million other things happen after that again in terms of mistakes and errors. And like I says, it was a really, really bad day at the office for us. Everybody to a man was well off it. And when you do that, I mean, you've got to look at the bigger picture. I've seen some wild statements made today by Celtic fans. I've seen a lot of wild statements today. I actually made a wild thing yesterday I'll touch on tonight. But I've seen a lot of wild statements today. Things like it's unacceptable. Things like it's embarrassing. What's embarrassing? Losing in a derby. You don't have any divine right to win every single derby you get into. We have been so fortunate as a fan base, mate, to go into these games being so dominant. That's the first one we've lost in over 2 years. That's phenomenal, mate. Phenomenal. It's also the first game we have lost this season domestically. Albeit it was a poor performance. We're not getting away for that. We're not trying to shy away from it at all. Brendan wasn't either. He fronted that up in his interview after the game. And he said there was a lot of errors made. There was stuff never went on our way yesterday. But there's a million and one things that happened yesterday that went against us. A big one was the team's level of performance. People are trying to dissect, there's a crisis in the team and there's this happening in the team and that team. You've got to remember we were 14 points clear going into the game. We actually played like that yesterday, Ryan. We played like a team going into that was so far ahead that actually probably wasn't really up for that game yesterday. Just we had to get because it was another one in the fixture list. I know that sounds crazy, mate, but I'm trying to give you my opinion on what I saw. They played like a caged animal. That's the way they played. They played as if they had to win that yesterday. Their lives depended on that yesterday. Why? Because jobs were on the line, mate. Their manager, for starters, their manager would have been sacked if we won that game yesterday. And not just won it by a similar scoreline that we did at Celtic Park earlier in the season. Now, you're looking at the bigger picture, right? There's been 3 derbies this season. We've won 2, one being one of the cups. I know we didn't win in the match, but we won the match overall to lift the trophy. And we won 3-0 the first game. We've now lost this one, but it still gave us an 11-point gap. The way that I've seen these comments today, Ryan, and the way that people are just going heavy in players, all of a sudden these guys are bad players. We're just off the back of 2-4-0 victories at Celtic Park. Nobody in their granny seen that coming. Nobody. By the way, I don't think for a minute, Ryan, those players got off that bus yesterday and thought to themselves, do you know what, we're just going to get here and mess about. I don't think that was the case. It was just when the game started, we just never had that panache to get things done. And when you lose the first goal, it was just one of those games, mate, where it quickly then started to get away from us. Like I says, you're away from home. It is a derby, as James mentioned earlier. We had no fans in the stadium. None. But that's not the reason why we lost yesterday. We lost the game because we weren't at it. And we made a lot of mistakes in the game. Our manager's probably going to have to analyse that now with the coaches and say, how do we put it right moving forward? Also think, Ryan, every kind of season, this moment seems to happen. If you remember back, Rodgers went on a mad run the first time he was a manager. We'd won about 60 games. Maybe I'm well off, I don't know. I've threw a figure out there. I might be correct, I might not be. If someone in the comments can enlighten me. And then we went to Tynecastle and we get gubbed 4-0 with Hearts. Now, that wasn't even the Hearts team, Ryan, that was doing anything that season. They leathered us that day because, again, we weren't at it. You know, and we had a lot of guys that we called superstars in the day. There you go, thank you. Smell the glove. 69 games. There you go. So I was being kind. Or being unkind, should I say. I knew it was 60-something games anyway. But there came a point, mate, where you have to hit a reset button. Maybe that point was yesterday for us, mate. Albeit a disappointment for us as Celtic fans watching on. But again, I know what Barry's saying in terms of clarity, because we are still in a magical position. We're one game away from getting to the next stage of the Champions League. We have already won a trophy this season. And we've only lost one game domestically, man. I don't know how many teams in many leagues can actually sit at this stage of the season, Ryan, halfway point, and actually say that, mate. So, all is not lost just because we lost yesterday.
No, in terms of context, if you take away the game yesterday in isolation, it's still a fantastic start of the season. The players have done really well. They've come through a decent schedule, a hard schedule, sorry, with decent results, and still your league kind of points total intact, and you won a cup.
Yeah.
You're doing well in Europe, which, by the way, young boys won't be a gimme, as much as they're near the bottom of the table in the Champions League. No game in Europe's a gimme, because we thought we'd go to Zagreb and win. We should have won, we didn't, so we can't.
I nearly got my prediction.
Aye. So we can't take young boys for guaranteed that we're going to just go in and win. We're still going to have to work hard and put on a performance to get to the playoffs. So take away the game yesterday, in isolation, it's still a really positive campaign so far. But I definitely do feel that we do need to add a wee bit of quality to the team, because you can see maybe the players are maybe need a wee bit of added quality, a bit of freshness to the team, because there's only so much you can. Even though these guys are good players, the squad does need refreshed, either players in, players out. Sometimes you do need to refresh your team, and I think there will be some changes in Sunday as well. You're probably lucky if Scales plays again for the next few weeks as well. Hatate as well. Some other guys come and pit for it as well, not just they two. So you can't change a full team, because that takes a full balance in the team. So
I think some of us were maybe looking for the next 6 sub rule to come on top of that 5 that you were able to bring on yesterday for us. Apart from maybe Casper.
I don't really tend to criticise Brendan, JP, but I've got to give him a wee bit of criticism yesterday because the way he done the subs, I don't think he done that right. And the list, I'm not going to question him because he's far more elite than me. He knows everything about football. If me and him had a conversation about football, he would absolutely trouse me at the park. So
see when you say, Ryan, see when you say, obviously, with the subs, what do you mean? You mean the timing of the subs, or what do you mean?
I can't believe we came out the second half on 8 subs. That's just great. I don't understand. I know what he said in his interview that I wanted to give him a reaction or to try and see if we get a reaction. But they've had 45 minutes with no reaction. There was nothing the rest of the evening to go. There was nothing.
Do you think it's more a case of Ryan that, you know, he was trying to enable his trust in them? Because obviously they've brought him a lot of goodness and a lot of, you know, success along the way. So do you think he was maybe trying to show his trust in them before he started putting people off?
Possibly, mate, but I think sometimes you need to take maybe some loyalty and some trust and some accusation and do what's best for that day and what's on that park. And how Hatate and probably Scale survived the first half. It was just on Scales, right? Now, it wasn't all down to Scales, but I'm just talking about as in helping them, right? The manager didn't help him yesterday. Now, see if you're having a bad game after half an hour, everything you touch is going to park, everything you touch is getting away, you've made a bad mistake, your confidence is shattered, take him off. Because you've seen after the third and fourth pass that he was not on it. And that's not, that it happens if I've been there myself when you miss a chance or it happens, it knocks you for 6.
Do you think the worst thing that could have happened though was to take him off rather than leave him on and try and rectify his own mistakes though? I know it was a day in the end up in hindsight, it's easy to say that now, but do you think maybe that was in Brendan's thinking there? Rather than just because again, if you whip him off, then what does that do to his confidence?
Boy, he done it with Trusty in the semi, and Trusty was not as bad as Skills yesterday in the semi, and he took Trusty off. So surely he could do the same with Skills. It's not because Scales just to help the team. Same with Hatate. Barry Hatate took off as well. So could the full team. But it's more on to help Scales because he's then having to play the rest of the game with that on his mind. And you've seen it. It was every time he had the ball, his head was away, and that's just because he made that mistake and it was stuck in his mind. Hatate as well, by the way, as well, getting the ball away. Now listen. I think Hatate's brilliant, but he's starting to get in this mould of Nancham, where he has 1 or 2 good games, 4 or 5 terrible games. And at Celtic, as much as this guy's amazing and these guys are good, you can't have 2 good games and then be good for 5 or 6, because I thought selling Nancham was a mistake because of that, but then it's kind of made me look silly because you can't keep somebody that's good for 2 games and then missing for 5. If you spoke about Hatate before, but the manager's mentioned that he's got to stop getting the ball away, his ball retention. When he's on it, by the way, he's different class. But when he's not on it, he's a passenger. An absolute passenger. And listen, I'm not want to sit and through every player, JP, because if we'd done that, we'd find a fault for every single player.
Well, you could do, though. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's unfair, I think, to individually pick, because you could go through everybody and they've all got deficiencies, Ryan.
There's only one player that I would say get any pass marks was Carter Vickers. Without him yesterday, it was 4 or 5. Whoever plays next to Vickers, you just feel a bit more confidence for them if it's Trusty or Scales. But I did again. I'm not an expert, but I did call it before the game, and it's no on Scales or Taylor that when they 2 together, they get targeted. In the first half, everything was doing that side. And when things keep happening like that, it then puts him under pressure, because they're getting handmade all the time. And again, I'm not going to question the manager on this, but when did we learn for this? Every time they play together, they get targeted. So don't do it. I play Trusty with Valle or play Scales, because it's going to happen every game. It's going to happen to Sunday with St Mum if we do the same. And then Wednesday night, it's going to be the same all the time. So that's when surely you've got to, I'm not going to tell the manager what to do here, but surely at any level of football, if the data and the stats and looking for your eye tells you that a certain area of the park was getting targeted because your two players are there, surely you change it. And Barry, I'm not saying that, because before the game I did say I didn't know who was going to play, Scales or Thursday. Whoever played, I was fine, mate. But I was expecting Value to play. So that's why I was the ball with Scales playing. And it's no one Scales or Taylor, by the way, but when they two play together, they always get targeted. And all points we did, we get bullied out of the park. We were absolutely, we just lacked energy on the plate.
Yeah, but again, for me, a large part of that, Ryan, was down to the fact that we weren't at it as a team. So that's the way it seemed as optics when you were looking at it and watching it. So I can understand what Plunge was saying, but you know, if Celtic were at it, you wouldn't be calling it bullying. You'd be calling it, I don't know what you would call it, but you'd have a different name for it. But it only looked like that yesterday because of, the way Celtic played and the way we never really got a foothold in the game. But listen, I understand. I'm going to retract something live here just now. I made a statement yesterday about the captain, and I said on another chat that Callum McGregor was hiding, and I'm thinking back and slept on that now, and thinking back, I actually think that's very, very disrespectful to say that about our captain, because it's a guy that fronts up everything. It's a guy that's led us to lots of success, taking over for, in my opinion, the most successful Celtic captain ever. I'm going to retract that now and change what I says to, I think Callum McGregor's just a very poor day at the office again. I think he just couldn't get involved in the game. Anything he done turned to rubbish, because that's the way we ended up yesterday, and it just wasn't very good. So I wanted to retract what I said regarding, because if you're looking at that now, you're saying to yourself, JP, why did you say that? Oh, it's not something it's not in his character. It's not something he does. If anything, he's at the forefront of everything we do, and even when we lose games like that, and the 7-1 game, first interview I seen was him. So when we get beat by Dortmund that night, the Champions League, yesterday he got interviewed as well. He was first to the, I think it was PLZ, interviewed him, Peter Martin and co. But yeah, as I say, so I want to retract that statement, because I don't think that was the right wording for that at the time. And I was the same as you, Ryan. I was very disappointed, and I think I was more disappointed because I never seen that coming. But I'm now, long enough in the tooth to understand how football works, first and foremost. And like I says, and I'll say it again, it was a derby away from home. And when you don't turn up and you don't do the basics well, and you don't, impose your personality and style on the game, then you leave yourself open to these things happening, mate.
I will be honest. I don't know what word I could use for hiding, JP, that makes it better. I thought once he get his
played poor.
Because I thought once he got his yellow cards, I'll say hiding, right, but I don't know what to use. I don't know what other word I can use. I don't know what else.
Just not involved. He wasn't able to get involved in the game.
As soon as he got his booking, it was like he didn't want to be there. And again, I love McGregor. I'm one of his biggest fans. I think he's a top player. So this is not on him as a player. This is just on the performance yesterday. There was times where...
Hold on, Ryan. Hold on. There's a wee comment for Plunge. Plunge, if you ever get the chance to meet him, mate, please do not say that to him, man.
No,
please do not.
Mate.
I'm telling you now, you're mightily wrong. Please do not say that. Do not say that to his face, mate. He will make sure you can't comment on another platform again, mate. That's how deep that guy will go, man. He's definitely one of them, mate.
I don't know what other I can use, but once he get his booking, Scales, and not just him, by the way, but
yeah, I think that's that Francis has kind of summed it up a wee bit for us. I think that's the...
It was him as well, but the full midfield, see when Vickers and Scales had the ball, right, it was like they weren't wanting the ball. So that's why the only reason why I'm saying hiding is because
Yeah, they won the moving. Yeah.
I don't know if it was Hadji and Barami, but they were going to the ball with Iggyman, right? And it was 3 or 4 times McGregor was behind them. And I'm thinking, right, you're hiding there because you're no showing for the ball. You're no trying to move for the ball. Now, Norman McGregor is the first one that goes to left, goes to right. He's moving, he's telling where to go. There was none of that yesterday. That's the only reason why I'm saying hide. I'm not saying he hides away and doesn't talk, but just his performance, I just thought, I don't want to say no take responsibility, but he was just no there showing for the ball. Not just him, Bernardo was the same, Hatate was the same. Vickers and Scales have got the ball, and because nobody's shown for the ball, they need to pass it wide, and then they pass it back into Vickers to Schmeichel, and that's just inviting pressure. Now, I'm not saying go away from your principles and your philosophy that this big bird are using now, but sometimes just go long. You don't need to always play for the back all the time. Just go long. If it means you need to put it in the corner and get yourself up and then go again, start again and retract, then do it. But why does every team these days persist in playing for the back?
You going to answer Scott here?
What's that? Scott, I think we Liam will be back in the cupboard soon, mate, because I can't see him playing on Sunday. I will be very surprised. It's not because he's just no good enough. Well, I don't think he's good enough anyway longer term, but I just mean in general, it's because obviously take him out the firing line as well, because I think I've seen that it can work both ways. He can play on Sunday and be brilliant, and then that helps him, or you take him out and just to give him a break and take him out of the situation. But maybe hiding's the wrong word, right? But I don't know what else to use. But I thought some of our better players kind of just lacked confidence as soon as the first goal went in. We just looked short of confidence, lack of energy.
Hold on a wee minute. Right. I've seen that. I've let the first one slide. Hold on. He's now commented with something else. Joe Curran, hope you're well, mate. Brownie, our best captain ever, JP, in your time. Maybe talk to your dad. Well, I can only tell you what's in my time. Right, my dad's probably going to tell me it's Billy McNeil, which he's already done about 1 million times. But Scott Brown's the most successful Celtic captain. He's won the most trophies as the Celtic captain. So I can only go what I know there, Joe. So up to now, Cal McGregor's in the right. He's going the right way about it. If we keep churning out trophies every year, so. But yeah, like I says, it's remarkable. But it just shows you how good we've been then as a club to have so many to talk about. Ryan, sorry, mate, because he commented something else about about myself, and then obviously I've seen that. So
and there's obviously leading on as well. What Jerry says, Scott Brown. You're damn tooting, Jerry. Scott Brown been good yesterday. Someday that ilk. Again, I don't promote violence. Never have. Don't want to promote it. Never will. But see, if you're 2-0 down or nothing's gone for you, put in a tackle. Do something that's going to get the team up and give a wee jag.
You're putting that nice. You're putting that too nice. You're being nice about that. You just want somebody leather. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying leather and put somebody out again, but
no. I know what you mean.
There was, even if you're 2-0 down, show a bit of frustration. Go and do something. Don't make a tackle and try and get the ball, because I've said it for years. Don't just about on this.
You sounded like Roy Keane there. I'll just go and smash into somebody now.
We're far too nice, JP. We have been for years. We've not got anybody. Even Vickers he's a strong unit, but we've got nobody that's I know it's a dying breed now, like a Brown.
It's a dying breed in the game now.
Yama, even Mialbi, all these guys. It's a dying breed of the players, right? But
yeah,
we're too nice, and sometimes when the going gets tough like that, we don't do enough of the dirty sides of the game. Now, we lack it in Europe, no, recently, but we have been in the past, and we lacked it yesterday. They were thrown into tackles, they were putting in everything, and that's what I didn't like. See if you're 2-0 up and nothing's happening, go and make a tackle. Go and do something that's going to get your teammates up, the manager going out and just something to give you something, and there was nothing there. And that's, again, I don't know if that's confidence, if it's, I don't know what it is. I know sometimes these games can fall away for you, but just there was absolutely nothing. It was just like we were just zapped of confidence and listen, look, it can happen. It can happen. I can accept getting beat, but just wee small things like that, even if you're not playing well, you can go and put in a tackle, you can go and do something. And I just hope we'll even lack that as well.
Yeah, I understand, your point, and I get what you're saying. We comment here for Toby from East End Community Radio. Wow, it's that big I can't even see you anymore, Ryan. He says, we've been spoilt for the last 20 plus seasons. We have fans out there who believe we deserve more every time. Yesterday was murder, and I agree, someone hits a player and it gives the team a lift. We will never be that bad again against them. It's as simple as that. We do miss a digger in the midfield. Bruni was a master at the wind-up game. Didn't even need to kick anyone. I agree with all your points, Toby. We certainly have been spoiled. I think that's where, in my opinion, where a lot of the anger for yesterday comes from as well. Fans are too used to seeing us winning and winning well in these fixtures and that fixture in particular. And they're not used to this feeling of when we lose, it's no nice. But this is my mantra all the time. When we win things, I don't get too carried away. And it helps when we don't win. Then I don't get too upset about it either, because that says I know these, I know it's not living in the real world, in my opinion, if you don't think these results in these games can happen, because they can. And Brendan simply even mentioning the fact that, we were that far ahead in the league, maybe that creeps in, or, surrounding circumstances. Who knows? But why would the manager even mention that if he wasn't even thinking it himself? So I think you're right, Ryan. I think if that was, we needed the 3 points in order to overtake them in the season, we would have got the job done. I think what it certainly does, not only did I said earlier, hits the reset button, I think it helps what you were saying there in terms of that wee jag, because guys like Alistair Johnson, Carl McGregor, Carter Vickers, these guys are all big minds, mate. They're all big mindsets. They are winners. They all know how to win. Even wee Kyogo and stuff, he'll not enjoy that. He'll not enjoy having his goal chopped off yesterday. By the way, what a peach of goal that was as well. But he'll not enjoy that. He wouldn't have enjoyed that. I've said to you millions of times, Ryan, you do not want to be that one in the analysation room, mate, that you're sitting there and you're going, you give the ball away there, that starts happening, bim, bim, bim. Scales will not enjoy that, mate. But he's a big boy. He'll need to sit and take it. Mm-hmm. He'll need to sit there and he'll need to analyse and say, right, next time you go there with the ball, instead of doing this, I'd rather the ball went back to the goalie than I'm doing that. But again, on hindsight, you can say, it's easy to say that now. But as I said, I'm big enough and ugly enough now, and I know football that well, that these results can happen. And if you can't find somewhere in your mind or heart or anything at all to think along the same lines, then you're always going to find it difficult when these results do come along, because it's not an embarrassment. It's not unacceptable. Celtic don't have every divine right to go into a derby and just go and blutter a team away and win the game, and we're all happy as Celtic fans and we all have great days out and we start winning titles and we live in a city where there's two big teams in Glasgow. They do have similar resources to us. However, they have mismanaged their club from top to bottom for numbers of years now. That's not our fault. And we do it at an elite level. We operate a different way. It's night and day, the difference. They have a similar fan base. They have a similar kind of, in terms of size of stadium, there's no a kicking the arse off the two stadiums. So everything's there for them to be on an even keel, the way it was many moons ago, even with the All Rangers. So, it was always, you look at the Martin O'Neill era, that was two good sides, right? A lot of good, the Bear brothers and Barry Ferguson, and they had a lot of really good players back in the day, you know, in the old Rangers. And then Celtic had the similar with Henrik and Sutton, and they went toe to toe. So we don't have that now. That's why, in my opinion, you saw the over celebration with them, because they now think they've somehow won the title. But what they don't understand is they've won a game, and that's where I know Barry's coming from. They've won a game where we are miles away from them. So, in realistic terms, I know this is going to be crazy to word it like this, and Celtic fans might think I'm doolally, but it's not going to have any detrimental effect on Celtic season, what happened yesterday. If anything, Ryan, it's going to spur us on to kick on and then go and try and do another run of games of being unbeaten again, mate.
It shouldn't have a detrimental effect to you. It shouldn't.
No.
So, again, I came into it as it commented to the start of the show that it's all about getting a victory on Sunday. You can't, as much as you still 11 points, you can't get any team any better hope. So if you didn't then win on Sunday, then they win. Then you go, right, okay, right. That's enough now, do you know what I mean? So you're not want to give any team any hope. So
Yeah,
it's still, listen, you're still in a brilliant position. You've got a good bit of money now to go and spend in January as well.
Well, there you go. There's what I was just saying there. Right? There's a great point for John. Since they were formed in 2012, they lose on average 10 million per season. Now, that is really highly gross mismanagement of the club.
Oh,
and by the way, that's just one example of what I mean. there's probably about 100.
It's similar vibes to, remember when they beat us at Celtic Park? I think it was at 2-1, or Ryan Jack scored, or Ryan Kent, and they beat us. Was it 2-1? They beat us.
No, they beat us 1-0 and Ryan Jack scored the winner. No. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry, they did beat us at Celtic Park. It was Ryan Kent. That's when he done the kind of gun sign. And then I think it was it not the lad, the Croatian lad they had at the back, Katic, he scored the header.
Right. I'm sure we won a treble that season. Right?
Yeah, we did.
And they celebrated
that was the one Gerrard went up to the camera, remember? And he was screaming into the camera.
They celebrated that yesterday like that. That was the way it was. It was like,
but Ryan, they celebrated yesterday because, like I says at the beginning of tonight's show, in my opinion, mate, they have now saved their manager for another foreseeable bit of time, because yesterday, if he lost that game, mate, he's no reality. He's out the door. And by the way, that place would have been volatile yesterday.
But see, in terms of no bones about that, mate. They need to then get, obviously we still need to win on Sunday, right? But because see if they don't get a result on Sunday, who Hibs are doing well, by the way, so if they turn up to Hibs and don't get a victory, there's no point in beating us.
No, 100%. No,
so
I agree.
They've got to then keep going now. So if we, but obviously there's the chat is now that Tierney's a done deal basically with a pre-contract.
Well, I'm actually just going to, I've seen some comments there in the comments sector. I'm actually going to come on, I've got my phone here and I'm actually going to read out what I've said, and this has come from PLZ Soccer themselves. So the beginning of it says, breaking news, Celtic are set to confirm a loan deal for Kieran Tierney until the end of the season, with the 3-year pre-contract agreement on a full contract from Arsenal. The Scotland defender has agreed to drop in wages and he's now set to seal his return back to Celtic.
For me, I'll let you in that, mate. But
no. I was obviously going to do the same with you, but for me, that now sets a cat amongst the pigeons, mate. Because is this now why we've kind of heard now that Greg Taylor hasn't signed his new deal?
Possibly. I think if Greg Taylor wants to play football every week next season, I don't think he'll be at Celtic, because if Kieran Tierney signs for Celtic and Kieran Tierney's fit, he'll play the majority of the games, because we won't sign a better left back than Kieran Tierney. Don't care what anybody says. We're not signing anybody of the quality of Kieran Tierney unless you're going to bid, unless you're bidding 40 to 50 to 60 million, because that's what Kieran Tierney is. By the way, he's a 40 to 50 million pound player, but we're getting him a free transfer because he's injury situation at Arsenal. That's the only reason we're getting him. So, for me, it's an absolute tremendous signing. Sign that calibre player, you sell him for £25 million and then you've got him back for nothing. Well, no, nothing, but you've got him back in a cup
I would
price.
imagine we're going to have to pay some sort of amount
Aye.
for the loan deal. I would imagine it's probably about $1 million, $2 million, whatever it may
I'll
be. And
say
then
that,
obviously
aye.
you take him, you take him for free in the summer.
It's a phenomenal bit of business for the club, JP, and I think it's been on the cards for a long time. Obviously, we have had some people telling us things, and you're like, aye, okay, but we'll wait till it happens, because you don't believe anything until the guys get the scarf or you see it totally announced. And I'm happy it's happened, because I'm a massive fan of him. I think he's, again, it'll take stock of our Celtic are as well, to be able to sign that sort of player. That team across the water who beat us yesterday, can he do that? Aberdeen, can he do that? Hearts, can he do that? So you're signing players that nobody else
I've just
can
got
do.
this vision, Ryan, with KT coming up. Remember the episode with Jack and Victor when they go to, I think it's called Sugarly's, where they go out for 60-year anniversary and they're walking through the town and Victor's like that to him. Oh, there's a 50 Bob Taylors and there's I've just got a vision of him and Callum McGregor walking through the town and Kieran Tierney doing that. Like,
Aye.
Sorry, that just came into my head there.
One thing as well, by the way, now we talk about leaders and captains. Kieran Tierney, if he was in that team yesterday, would not have accepted that performance. So he would have been in the dressing room saying things as well. So that's
He's also one of the players that kick people. I know that's so nice wording, but he's also one of the players that gets stuck right in about it as well.
So that's another, you're kind of putting another captain at your team, another leader in your team. So
that's the one, Ronnie. Yeah, do you ken any Perry Como, son? Yeah, that's it. Aye.
It's an absolute tremendous signing for me, JP. Because people are going to say, is he fit? Well, he's been off the bench the last few weeks. He's fit. He's fit to play. So he could easily.
He was an unused sub at the weekend as well.
Aye. So just say he signs in Monday morning. I guarantee you he'll win a squad on Wednesday. He might even play on Wednesday if he signs by Wednesday. That is. So I don't know if there's a rule where you can add people into your squad in January for Europe. I don't know if you can. I need to look into that. I don't know if you can. I know sometimes you can add 1 or 2 players in. I don't know if you can with this new format and stuff. I don't know. I'll need to check that. If that's the case, even better that we've got him maybe away to Villa as well and at home to Young Boys to help us in Europe. So I think Greg Taylor, JP, I think he'll be thinking about his future now. If that is obviously the case now.
James, he won't be our understanding is he's not going to be signed in time for Sunday, mate. So it's going to be, I think, Monday onwards before Kieran returns to the club.
If he signs for Sunday, brilliant, but
no, 100%. But I would really be surprised, mate, if he's here by Sunday. So there's Toby saying there's 3 new players allowed.
I had an idea, Toby, that something might have been allowed because of new format and stuff. So that's, for me, JP, that's even better for us, because that means you can say to 2 new players, listen, you've got a playoff game potentially coming up. You've got a game against Young Boys, Celtic Park, 60,000 under the lights. You win that, you're qualifying the playoffs. You've got Aston Villa.
I don't think we can add. Toby, is that the next stage of the Europe, mate? I don't think that's the now. We need to finish.
If it's
after the Aston Villa game, I think that's what Ryan's meaning, Toby. Right. I don't think. Are you allowed to add players? Surely you're not allowed to add players now, even though it's the January window, to like the Young Boys game and the Aston Villa game. I'm sure it's after that finishes, then you can do it.
Even then, it's getting people. So right away you've got Tierney, right? So he'll add to that. There's talk about Stephen Wells gone. Dane Murray came back, so I'm guessing Dane Murray will just take his place if he's allowed to be registered. Yep. That is.
We also have another striker in the ranks as well, mate. We've got Johnny Kenny back in the team. Yep.
Again, there'll be a wee bit of again, it is silly season as well, mate. There will be names branded. Jota will be back. Robbie Keane will be signing again. Do you know what I mean? There'll be loads of things coming into the papers now. But on Tierney, mate, for me, it's an absolute tremendous signing. It doesn't take the gloss off of yesterday, but it gives the club a massive boost. He's a tremendous player.
Can he play inverted?
Well, Arsenal play inverted when he's playing with Arsenal.
That's going to be the next one, isn't it? Can he play inverted?
I couldn't care if Tierney doing it or no, because he's in my opinion, he's just about a world-class player. he's 27 now, 27. So in terms of footballing wise, at his age, he's coming to his peak. We're getting Kieran Tierney at his peak in terms of football ability and football wise, right? So for me, I'll let you in on that, mate. For me, I can sit and talk about Kieran Tierney all day. It's an absolute tremendous signing for the club, tremendous for the manager on the board to obviously get him in the door. We hope now that that's his injuries finished and we can obviously get him fully fit, playing every week. And if it means we need to play him 60 minutes and bring on Valley, then that's what we need to do. Or Taylor, then that's what we need to do. And as long as he's playing at his peak JP, then I'm happy. I think it's a tremendous signing. Absolutely brilliant for Scottish football as well to see that calibre player in Scotland as well. So I think it's a fantastic bit of business for the club, mate, and I can't wait to see him back playing at Celtic Park.
Obviously, as Toby says, and obviously a wee bit of joke here, we just want him playing. 100%. I really think, I'm beyond the stage now of worrying about his fitness issues, etc. I think, when he moves back to Celtic, psychologically, I think that will change Kieran as well. I think that will be a big boost for him. First of all, he's going to be welcomed straight back into the side, and it's a player that's probably more than likely going to come back into Celtic's first 11 as well. There's no questions about his ability. I mean, I'm going to say, I don't use this term like all the time, but he is absolutely world class. World class. In my opinion, Ryan, I think he's better than Andy Robertson. He's a better defender than Andy Robertson as well. He can also play centre back, which is another positive for us because he's versatile and able to play more than one position. I had a wee joke there about whether he can play inverted. I 100% know it. Kieran can do that, which is why he's coming back. But he's also coming back to add quality to the Celtic side. Not just for now, next season again. Because I firmly believe him and Alistair Johnson in Europe, Brian, takes us up a level from what we've even seen this season. So for me, the deal's a no-brainer. But I'll tell you what, people give the man all the stick in the world. What a deal that is by the man that we, in light-hearted terms, call Pistol Pete and Mr. Pete O'Lawwell. Wow. I mean, that's just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal dealings. If he has anything to do with that, if it's Michael Nicholson, tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. We have sold a guy for 25 million. And
did we not also get I don't know if Toby even knows this. I know Toby knows a bit. I'm sure did we know of a clause in his contract in order if he won a trophy we get an extra £1 million? Was that not true? Or was that made up? I'm sure that was something in it.
I don't know.
I seen something like that.
Arsenal won the FA, didn't they?
Listen, it could be absolute bogs, but
no, you could be right. That's not come out anywhere in your head there, Ryan. So obviously you must have that sort of image in your head there. So
I seen it in an article a while ago. And I don't know if it was £1 million if Arsenal won a trophy. Listen, it could be absolute nonsense. It's a made-up article, but I seen one or two things about it. So
what we need now is Jota, man. We're getting the band back together, you know what I mean? Stick you two in the left, man.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
teams will be like that on, no again.
You're probably going to sum up Fraser Forster's linked with again.
He's back up to Scott Bain.
And by the way, to be fair, as much as I think Fraser was amazing for us, I want to take Forster back for what I've seen from this season.
No, listen, I think the big fella he was an unbelievable goalkeeper in his day for us, but unfortunately he's been asked to play a brand of football. He's just you can see he's not comfortable with it, Ryan. He's never had to do it. He's now trying to be this kind of sweeper keeper and play out for the back, and 9 times out of 10, he's actually caused more problems than what but he's made a lot of good saves as well. I mean, he made saves at Ibrox just a short time ago. Yeah, as I say, it's one of those things.
I think as well, mate, I don't know what you think on this as well, right? So, as well, see, obviously, Maeda as well, right? Now, whoever's going to be Maeda, if we sign somebody else, if Kuhn goes to the left and Forrest was back, whoever it is, right? See, having Kieran Tierney behind you, that then gives you more licence. I call it in the football world cheating, right? So,
King, he's going to need to learn Japanese to talk to him so that he can tell him where to go.
But Maeda can then, if you want to call it what I call it, cheating. So he can stay up front or stay to that position because he knows he's got that quality of defender able to back him up. And then that means Kieran Tierney's quick, by the way, as well. So then it gives Maeda a license. So, by the way, now Maeda, people might think I'm saying something silly here, right? But I think Celtic can buy a better footballer in terms of Maeda, right? In terms of being a footballer. But what Maeda brings you, right? In terms of the intensity, the energy, the press, his big moments and big games, right? And then add that with Tierney doing that wing.
Yeah.
He'll obviously, by the way, I think he'll get better with Tierney because Tierney can help him. I know he's only 27, right? But he's an experienced player. And he'll come in and listen. He'll be able to help these guys as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and listen, he's a talker as well. We know that through Barry Bannon. Baz played with him at Scotland and stuff like that. And even as a young lad, Baz says he was full of confidence, getting in there with men at the time, and a lot of senior guys that have played a lot more games than him at the time for Scotland. And, you know, Tierney is a talker, and he's I think his membership's now, I've read there, his membership's been reinstated for the Green Brigade as well, so he's got a backup plan once he retires. He's retiring. When he retires with Celtic, he'll then become the new leader of the Green Brigade, which is also a good thing to see because he'll always be parked no matter what he's doing.
Aye, Green Brigade. He'll get his season ticket back now.
He'll get his season book back now. I'm not too sure if there's a lot more Celtic fans still. I've seen it over the last couple of weeks, but I'm not too sure fans now are against Tierney coming back. Yeah, he also captained Celtic at a very young age as well, John. Remember his rasper against Kilmarnock at Celtic Park in the Cup? That was that game that night, and he was the captain of that team. So he's played in a lot of games, you know, and he's played at a very high level. He's played over in Spain as well, Ryan, in La Liga against some top quality opposition. So it's just a phenomenal coup. It's a phenomenal deal for us. And I'm not surprised if for the next year or so we're going to be getting investigated for money laundering, mate, because that's probably what it is, and it's highest level I've ever saw in my life.
Honestly, when it surprise you, listen, it all depends on how he settles here again and his injuries, if anything happens, stuff like that. But you never know, he could be here for the rest of his career now. Do you know what I mean? It's one of the ones where if he signs for 3 years, he's getting to 30, Celtic might not get a massive bid. It's all about opinions, Punch. I'm never going to tell anybody that they're right and wrong. I'll disagree with people.
I will. Listen, I can agree with that actual statement. It's a shocking signing because it's a signing I never thought Celtic were going to be making. So it's an absolute unbelievable.
It's a shocker as in, wow, what a signing. Listen, Punch, I'll let Jai pin in that as well. But for me, I'm never going to criticise any other podcast or anybody for having an opinion. We're all in here to give our opinions and stuff like that. But for me, I generally can't see what issues anybody's got with the signing. I get the injury. Listen, I get it, but if this deal does get out of the line and he signs, for me, it's a tremendous signing. It's an absolute. I don't see any negativity about it at all. I really don't. I can get injury thing, but you sign any player and they can get injured. Any player can get injured in training. Any player can get injured walking the dog. So any player can get injured. JP, doesn't matter if it's Kieran Tierney, Vickers, or Tati. So
They have an I've just checked, by the way. PLZ have now, I think they've let the cat out of the bag too early.
Possibly,
And
but
they've now had to delete that tweet.
But we have seen a lot of things today that there's too many sources now telling you. Steve McGibbon, Romano, Scott Burns, all the guys are all saying it now. It's just about getting done. So, like I say, until it happens, then we'll celebrate, if you want to call it that. But I think JP for me, I can't agree with people saying it's a shocker, because for us to bring that quality of player, a guy that you know is going to give everything every day for the club, everything on the park.
Plunge, it's been on Sky all day, to be fair. Sorry, Ryan. It's been on Sky all day, Plunge.
Aye, but for me, mate, I'd be feeling that, but I can't agree with. I'll never disagree with somebody having an opinion, JP, but when people say it's a shocker, I can't agree with that, mate.
No, it's a shocker in terms of, wow, I can't believe we're signing him. For me. But PLZ have obviously jumped the gun, which is why it was on the STV News at 6 as well, George. Yeah, mate, it was. It's been in all media sources all day long. I think PLZ maybe have got their knuckles. Somebody's had their knuckles rattled for that, because they've now had to retract. Just as well, I saved it on my phone before they had a chance to do so, to show that they definitely put it out.
Peter, you cheeky man.
Well, I do have it in good authority. I'm getting it in my ear here with the man upstairs. I do have it in good authority that he's definitely here. I think we've got a picture of him and Brendan just now sitting in the Dakota. Here we are. There we go. So definitely, as we can see, they are sharing a nice wee celebration cigar. I never knew the two of them smoke, but there you go. That's beside the point. But he looks good. I think he looks good in that Celtic club, Ryan, yeah?
I actually quite like that green cap. I might need to buy that myself.
Yeah, it's nice, man. It's really nice. And you can see that Gaffar having a wee smile there, signing off on the contract that folks are.
That's probably Renegade meeting, mate.
Aye. Rogers has got to counter sign his 2-year membership back to the Green Brigade again.
Remember, Kiri's now back. Lay off him now. That's him back now. Lay off him.
Remember, it's not December. He's that pen and paper like I sign.
He's away to home bargains now to get a brand new megaphone.
Aye, Rogers will laugh. Remember, it's a treble A batteries you need, not a double A.
Yeah.
You put a double A in the last one.
He's taking an Alan job and playing the Scotto. Play the Scotto!
I'm in Big Allen and I'll be up the Annie's Land next week like that. Play the Scotto! I said Big Allen's not here tonight. He's up in Annie's Land. Brilliant, man.
Brilliant.
But Big Allen will not be based on Monday, folks, either. He's on the East End Community Radio, so it's his turn to be in with the big boys in there. And with Toby and all the lads at East End Community Radio. So Big Allen will not be here. He'll not be on the dial-in with us. Thank God, man, because I'm fed up listening to his patter, Ryan. What about you, mate? I don't know if it's bad, that result yesterday, or having to listen to his patter.
What's that, Toby, what you said?
PLZ soccer update.
What have they said?
Hold on. I'll tell you.
It's no KT, it's Boris Bauer. It's Maurice Bauer.
It's no KT. It's no Kieran Tierney.
That's KT Turnstone's sign, no Kieran Tierney.
It's KT. It's no Kieran Tierney. It's Kerry Katona.
Kerry Katona. I'll need to actually invite you on the.
They're going to allow that song again. Looking back on where we first met.
What's that, George? Aye, George, definitely. It was a cracking performance for Barry and Sheffield Wednesday, and obviously Windass with one of the best goals I've ever seen. Obviously, I wasn't live, but we spoke to Baz Efton. He says it's probably the best he's ever seen live, George. So, no, me and JP watched the game actually, and they were actually really good. Danny
they
Rose
were.
been playing really well, and aye, so it's really good to see them doing really well, mate, definitely.
We watched it on Sheffield Wednesday television as well. We were in somebody's house that had one of the boxes that we don't like talking about on here.
Actually might have been I don't know if it was John's, but John always talks about it in the comments, didn't he?
Aye, John always says he was blaming Yang for everything. Aye, he's a man. He's a man that does that. Yeah, JP leaks details. No, listen, I was only don't shoot the messenger. I was only putting out. There's more leaks in here than it was in my granny's soup, honestly. So no, honestly. Don't call me Lee Wallace. I'm not having it.
Don't you call me a cheerleader. Don't you call me a cheerleader,
Derek. Toby, don't you call me a cheerleader.
Toby,
no, leave him on. Ryan, leave him on. Ryan, leave him on. Leave him on. Leave him on.
Toby, let me speak.
By the way, I still done that when I went on to East End Community Radio. Telling you.
Let me speak, Toby. Don't you call me a cheerleader, Kenny.
Don't you call me a cheerleader, Declan.
Aye.
Make sure you get back to the quarter, John. Shush. 2 pints, yeah.
Aye.
Aye. That's for enough. That's for enough. Aye, 2 runs in a bath. Aye. Your face is long.
Aye, long face.
Aye, long face. Aye. Guy walks into a bar with a crocodile and the barman shouts, "Here, mate, you can't leave that line there." He said, "It's not a line, it's a crocodile."
A crocodile. Oh, brilliant, man.
Aye.
Suppose it's good to put a bit of funny spin on that performance yesterday, I suppose.
No, obviously, we're obviously then going to need to touch on St Mirren. Obviously, we've got that to look forward to now on Sunday. What's your thoughts?
I'd like to think there'll be a reaction, JP. I like to think that we'll. I mean, the performance will be ideal, but it's all about getting a victory and get back on the winning trail. But I'd imagine there'll be a reaction, JP, because I think at half time it might have went through him, but I don't think after the game it would have had to went through him, because I think you play football yourself, mate. Anybody who's played football, you know when you've not played well. You don't need everybody to tell you played poor. You don't need the manager to go through you, because you know it'll drive you. Probably one of the ones, look, bad day at the office, it was terrible. Go and get a shower up the road, and I'll speak to you in the day. I don't think it would be a long prognosis after the game.
How gently they've been in the shower today?
Possibly, aye.
Go and get a shower.
Aye, but no, I think.
By the way, if Maeda washes the way he runs, man, he'd have been in that shower in a jiffy.
I do think you'll be expecting a performance. I think the fans will be as well. And again, that's not because they expect to win every game. It's because you've had a bad defeat and a bad performance. You expect the team to be low. 9 times out of 10, I think, JP, when you get a defeat like that, which I think is a good thing, there's no winter break for us to dwell that one. So
no, the games are fast, fast.
So you're right back into it, so you can't dwell on it. You're right back into St Mirren, and then I think that helps you. So I just get a good performance, JP. Get back on the winning trail. You'll probably see a few changes. I'd imagine Trusty will come in. I'd imagine Engels and McCowan will come in for Tati. Or Bernardo, the two might even drop out. So I think either maybe come in for Kyogo, but apart from that, I think he'll play Maeda and Kuhn. I do agree with Francis as well, by the way. I think it's hard for Ida to come in and that called him, but I do think Ida will need to start showing a bit more as well. But there's no point in doing that as well, mate. But overall, just get a better performance, mate. Get a victory, and then we get another game at Celtic Park against United during the week.
Yeah, obviously, touch on obviously St Mirren themselves. They've been a kind of yo-yo team. Hold on a wee second, a wee comment off it and Jem in the comments. JP, someone still bought you a new joke book for Christmas. Yeah, that was the tap tour that I just gave you. It was off the first page. I've not got that far down it yet, so that was off my new joke book. So thanks for that, though. Appreciate it.
Thanks for that, Gowbo.
Cheers for that, Gowbo. Aye, thanks for that, Gowbo. What is it, Wednesday? Thanks for that. I didn't ask you.
I remember my Schmade was a wee lassie.
Aye. Aye.
Brilliant.
This is well, I'm not Hugh Casey's wife, man. I'd have been right out the window.
Aye. We're in the scramble 360 a power card.
They're on about mental, aren't they?
Brilliant, man.
Aye. But I tell you another joke, and Jim. I'll tell you another wee joke just before we move on. What celebrity is ready for the soup? Leave that one hanging for a wee second. What celebrity is always ready for a soup? Reese with a spoon.
Me point.
Uh-oh. Okay, I could do better. I was a wee bit nervous.
Brilliant.
Oh, Jesus. Aye, as it is. Listen, you can't have a good laugh. You're aye. What can you have? Toby, cheers for joining us, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers, mate. He's away. There's jokes.
Aye, he's Jovsky. Jokes are away. That's him, he's away. Aye. St Mirren. What can we say about St Mirren? Well, that's all I've got time for, I'm afraid, so we'll just move on. No, to be fair, St Mirren, they've been one of the kind of yo-yo teams the last wee while, Ryan. Obviously, get a good result against them across the water. I think they get beat yesterday as well, didn't they? They beat them yesterday. I don't need to check the fixtures. I think they lost yesterday. Was it Kilmarnock? Kilmarnock beat them, didn't they?
Aberdeen you beat across county. I think so, aye.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was Kilmarnock that beat St Mirren yesterday 2-0. So that's what I'm saying. They've been a wee bit inconsistent. In terms of their team, they do have a lot of pace up top and a lot of physicality. So they came to Celtic Park on the last day of last season and they caused us real problems, Ryan. They took the lead twice in the game and he's always got them really organised. Stephen Robinson. I actually like Stephen Robinson because of the way he organises his teams and he always seems to work well on lower budgets. I actually think he's one of the managers, Ryan, that deserves a chance at one of the bigger clubs. You know, he's been about Scottish football for a while. No long ago, he was tipped to be the Northern Ireland manager before they took Michael O'Neill back to that. So,
was you no tipped for the Hearts job or not?
I think there was talk of him maybe going there. It was between him and McInnes, if my memory serves me right. McInnes obviously opted to stay at Kilmarnock, but yeah, I do think, you know, he's one of those managers that I think he doesn't get enough plaudits, and I think he's done very well with the clubs that he's been at. He took Motherwell to 2 of the cup finals, Ryan. Just so happened to be they were up against the best in the country in both the finals that season, and they lost the 2 of them to Celtic. So he's always worked well with a low budget, and he's always got the best out of his players. I actually think they've made a signing. I think they signed somebody just a day or 2 ago.
That Striker for Gateshead.
Aye. I knew they just signed somebody. I couldn't remember.
I don't know how much it was, but they paid a bit of money from him. I don't know if it was $100,000 or something, but they paid money from him.
Right, okay. I knew they just signed somebody. I knew it was a centre forward. Yeah, it was a centre forward for Gateshead. Yeah. I can't mind his name. I can't remember who he is.
No, I can't.
So they have added to their squad, albeit it might not be, you know, to the level of Celtic or whatever, but it'll certainly help them in an area where I think Olasanya and, you know, they've got some good players in that area that can cause teams problems. So I think it's a game for Celtic to, as you said, bounce back and do it in a fashion where, you know, it gives us a chance to lay down a marker and lay down a proper message that, you know, yesterday was just a hiccup. Like I says, Ryan, I would be strongly, strongly surprised if they... All right, there you go. George, I didn't know that. Thanks, mate. I didn't even know he'd added a goalkeeper today. I've been too engrossed in the Kieran Tierney story and everything else. So, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, they always seem to churn out some players, and they're normally guys that you've never heard of. And you go, wow, that Olasany's a good player, Ryan. I'm not saying he's good enough for Celtic, but he's a good player. He causes teams problems, mate, because of his pace and his physicality. So, yeah. I do think it'll be a tough test for us. Like I says, they always set up well. They're always hard to beat. He's got them, like, you know, very organised. They've got guys like Gogic in their team, who's a very physical player, likes to, you know, get in about it. They've got lads in the midfield, good ball technicians as well. So, like I says, it's one of those teams that they are a yo-yo team, and from game to game, mate, you don't know what you're going to get. But I expect nothing more than a tough afternoon on Sunday, mate.
It will be, but I think getting beat it could be. I don't want to say a blessing, but it could really be a wee tiny wake up call to some of the players that even though you're far ahead, you still need to turn up, and you still really need to kind of do your best, and you still need to turn up. So, I'd imagine that Sunday will be one-way traffic. I know they'll try their best to maybe try to counter-attack us up.
The other big lad I know, I meant to say, Jakaviti, he's another one that, you know.
But I just can only see it in one way, JP. I think we'll come out right for traps, and I'd like to think they will, because I think if the managers realise a word of them and they've realised a word of themselves, that they'll go and do that. So I think it could be a hope for an entertaining game at Celtic Park on Sunday, and anyone will do. But I like to get a wee bit of no feel good factor back, but just get back on the winning trail, get a few goals, and get us back into kind of winning again after the defeat. So listen, 2 home games. It's 2 again. Done nature doing well as well, but you've got 2 home games. So it's games that you should be winning. Got to Celtic Park, full crowd, 2 home games for a defeat, and then you'll see what happens after that. But I think it's 2 games make him up that you look to go and win and keep that gap at the top of the table.
Yeah. But again, momentum's key, isn't it? We had good momentum going into yesterday. Yesterday was just unfortunate. We never played well. We never got going. And this is a chance for us to bounce straight back. And I think if you ask any footballer, you know yourself, mate, you'd rather play games than go into training. So I think it's a chance for the team to bounce back and start another run, because then, like you says, it's Dundee midweek, and then we move on and we've got another game the following week, and so on and so on. Like you says, there's no winter break, so there's a chance for us to now really, really put a lot of focus into getting back to winning ways and doing it in a style that, you know, that's going to be beneficial for us moving forward. But in terms of teams, mate, what kind of team are you thinking is going to line up on Sunday? What's your thoughts?
I think there'll be a few changes. I think some players will be getting a wee. I think he may actually play Ralston, depending on how Johnson's feeling, because I don't think he looked fit. If I'm being honest with you, I think he looked very sluggish, and it wasn't Alistair Johnson that we've seen. I thought he was pretty poor, so I think he could play Ralston. But who would I play? If it was me picking the team, I would play Johnson if he's fit.
No, just who you think the team's going to be, right, in your opinion.
Right, I think it will be Johnson, Vickers, Trusty, Valle. I think it will be Engels, Bernardo, McGregor, Kuhn, Maeda and Kyogo. I don't think there'll be any changes up front. I think it'll be the back in the middle.
You don't think there'll be changes up front?
No, I don't think so, because I don't think so. I don't think you can change too much. I wouldn't then play either in Yang. I can maybe play one of them, but I wouldn't change the full three because you still want to keep some sort of continuity in the team. So I think maybe, so what did I say, 3 changes, 4? I think that's roughly what I would do. I definitely think Trusty and Hitati will come out. I think they 2 are certainties in my opinion. So that's my teammate for Sunday.
Yeah, I think the team will be Casper. I think it will be AJ, Carter Vickers, Trusty. I think it'll be Vi. I think the midfield will change. I think it'll be Engels, McCown and McGregor. I don't think it'll be Bernardo or Hitati. So I think that'll be the midfield. I think it'll be Kuhn. John's probably not going to like me here. But I think Yang could be on the left, mate. I don't think he might not play Maeda due to the fact that we're back to this. We're now back to this.
That's John just kicked off.
No, we lost another sub there. That's probably John. No, but that's what I'm saying. We're back to this. You know, we're probably going to have to rotate the squad because we're playing so many games. If he plays Maeda, that's fine. But I do think Yang somehow comes back into that mix somewhere. Up until such times where we make a signing and we sign a wide player this January window, right? And I also think that Ida will play up front. I don't think he'll start Kyogo, mate. John says Eric can hear his phone ringing. Yeah, it's probably no, mate. It's probably just the tinnitus that you've got every time Yang's mentioned in your ear. Just that's what the ringing is. It's nothing to do with that. But no, I genuinely, I'm trying to be as honest as I can, and as much as I might not be liked now for saying that, I do think Yang will somehow come back into this mix because of these run of games. If it's not on Sunday, it's definitely going to be Wednesday probably. Right? I do think Yang will come in somewhere along the lines. And my only thoughts prior to that is because he had that run of games leading into yesterday's derby. So I do think this is where Rodgers will need to start because, again, mate, these games are coming and in no long, mate, you'll be playing Kilmarnock in the Cup and then before you know it, we'll be back to playing young boys and, you know, then we're on to the Aston Villa game and the games are coming thick and fast, mate, so it'll not be long till these games are coming on us.
Aye, listen, if Yang plays, we support him and we hope he does well.
I also think he's better on, he's more suited to being on the left. I think he just looks more natural and coming in on his right.
I would be surprised if he does too many changes at the top end, but I think there will be changes more in the back line in the middle of the park, especially middle of the park. I think you could actually take out them all, JP, if he really wanted to.
No,
you could.
100%. No, yeah, 100%. You could, if he was really wanting to punish people, then he could do that for yesterday. But
I do think Engels is a set to come in because I think he would have started the game on Sunday if he didn't have. Again, I've
seen a couple of comments earlier. I think it was James Kennedy that actually commented saying he should have started. Obviously, that was the case. He was meant to be starting, but he was unfortunately woke up yesterday feeling unwell.
And again,
I'm assuming now he's probably not feeling the best now after getting scalped with that coin.
I'm not saying this as I know that was disgusting. I know Celtic fan, I've done it at Celtic Park as well, but anybody who thinks throwing anything at a player again,
I've never understood it, mate. Yeah.
And then, by the way, I seen Troy Deeney. Now, listen, played at a top level, respect the guy for his ability, playing in the Premier League. He's trying to say that Arne Engels going down was weak. He's talking about he get fucking hit with a coin. You said on.
I've no, right, okay, I've not seen that.
He's trying to say that Arne Engels is weak. He says, that one just went down. You're not expecting to get hit with a fucking, sorry for swearing, but a fucking coin. You're not expected to get hit with a coin. Do you know what I mean? Like, have a bit of empathy, man.
It's not even that as well. It was what was really glaring after it happened. Ryan, there was a mark on here on Engels' face. So I do think after probably yesterday and today, I actually seen a photo with Kuhn. He was outside Lennoxtown. You could actually see the kind of the mark on his nose as well for he got hit in the face. But Yeah, I've never understood anybody in any walk of life, for any fan base, anything at all, goes to a football match and decides, do you know what I mean? I'm just going to take this out my pocket and I'm just going to launch it at one of these players. I mean, but how does that even enter your head? Yeah, I know, and your silence is absolute golden, mate, because it is beyond me also. How does that even enter an individual's head to do something like that? It's got nothing to do with football, man. It's got nothing to do with what team you support. It's to do with you as an individual, you as a person.
There's always one, but
There's obviously a malfunction in you that just isn't right. That you've got that in you to do that. It's like Luis Suarez biting people, right? That's not something he just developed as a footballer, mate. That's something he done when he was a wee boy. That's things you see kids doing, mate.
Why you go to a game to throw anything? Listen, I know we all get frustrated and stuff like that, right? But even if you're frustrated, you don't go and throw things on a park. Like, that's, see, for football players, right? A football park should be the safest place for them. They should be able to play football and no get hit, no have abuse. Obviously, you get abuse for the stands, or you're not good enough and this and that. Right? That's fine. To a certain degree, you can shout abuse and shout stuff. No abuse, but you can shout certain things that are poor, no good enough. But there's a line that gets done and thrown things. No matter if it's a half-time lottery ticket, a coin, a bottle, a candle, a light, anything at all. You do not throw anything on a football park. That's absolutely... I just don't get it, mate. I really don't.
No, Francis, I get what you're saying, mate, but listen, we've got them in our own support as well, mate, so it's not even... Unfortunately, I've been at games where it's happened at our games, and it happens, and this is the what I call the really poor side of the game, and a really bad side of mentality, because there is certain individuals that go to football matches and they do these things, and it's happened before. I mean, remember Hugh Dallas get hit in the face with a coin, and so I really don't understand anyone that wants to do it. I'm not going to be too much up in the arms about it, Ryan, because like I've said, I've been at games myself where it's happened at Celtic Park, and we, our supporters done it to the opposition also. So you can't live in the glass house, mate, and throw stones at everybody else. But obviously yesterday, in a game we were poor and we never get anything going, and there's no place in football for that though. That shouldn't even become a talking point at all in yesterday's game. But unfortunately, mate, it leaves a bit of a dark cloud over the game. And not just that as well, to then come away for Ibrox, and then you hear a report getting put out with various media sources last night that obviously Brendan Rodgers was then targeted with missiles, or a missile, should I say. But it's it's not nice. It's just not a nice thing to see. And it's obviously not a nice thing for anyone to have to... Nobody should go and... It's like guys going to their work, mate. You shouldn't have to go to your work and put up with somebody throwing something at you in the face. That's what
it is.
How does that even become a thing? That's what I'm saying. That's their work.
A lot of people don't... Well, some know a lot of people, but some people don't realise that that's their job. Footballers, that's a job. So... realistically, Arnie Engels has been assaulted at his work.
Yeah.
Which is, there's cameras
Francis,
everywhere.
I see your recent comment there, mate, but it's happened millions of times in that fixture. It's not just, by the way, it's not just whether it happens there or happens here or happens. It's happened millions of times in that fixture.
What I didn't like was you've got Neil McCann trying to point score, was saying, with Hugh Dallas. Listen, why you bring that up? Stop bringing things up to point score because
Ryan, I just done that for pure memory because I remember that was called like the shame game. That was that. But that's what I'm saying. Even the old Rangers, that it's happened loads of times in that.
But what I mean is,
and that was at Celtic Park, that game.
I know what you're saying, and you're saying it through context. That it's not just us or there. It happened everywhere, right? And
no.
It shouldn't happen. But he was saying that in national telly and Sky to try and point score, but this and that. why are you mentioning that game? Just say that it's not acceptable, it shouldn't be happening, and the culprit should be fined or jailed or whatever. Why are you going back on other games to try and point score? What are you doing?
I never heard Neil McCann actually saying that. Was this
That's
after?
what he was basically doing.
The game cut away. I don't know if anybody seen this, but the game cut away and went straight to Dens Park, to obviously the United game. So I thought that was very poor, Ryan, as well. The coverage yesterday, like big derby, and listen, no disrespect to Dundee or Dundee United. I'm not saying that because that's a big game in its own right, but it's not as big as that derby. They never even moved it to another channel for the aftermath of the game, and then it cuts back to even after the Dundee United game's finished, and it's still the same team all sitting in the studio together with Chris Sutton, Neil McCann, Neil Lennon, and Chris Boyd and Ailey Barber. Yeah, they're all sitting there doing the aftermath of the Dundee United game when James McFadden was already in that stadium commentating on the game. So I just found that very bizarre. But obviously, I understand they've got contacts and stuff, and they've got to be there. But they were sitting inside an empty Ibrox doing that game. But again, mate, the coverage for me, they never moved on to another channel. I thought they would have moved on because apart from online yesterday, mate, there's no way a normal Celtic fan who's maybe in his 60s, 70s looking for interviews, maybe doesn't know how to work a bit of technology or has trouble working technology, maybe doesn't have any loved ones staying with them or anything at all, looking for that interview, you're not finding that, right? Because not a lot of guys have got access to go onto YouTube and know how to work like modern day smartphones and all that kind of jazz to I mean, I wouldn't even have trusted my granddad with the remotes for the telly, let alone give him a phone. My granddad was nuts. So, as I'm saying, he wasn't even allowed the buttons for the telly. So, I've plunged, I've heard that great many a times, mate, about Sky and Scottish football, etc. But listen, I understand that big, that game was on straight after us. That's probably a small moaning for me. But I just thought they would have moved that onto another channel because surely you've got to find, there wasn't a proper aftermath. And then it wasn't so was it after the Dundee United game that took place then, Ryan, the conversation of...
I can't remember, George
right.
P, but
okay.
I agree with that the games, the big games in Scotland, if it's United and Dundee, Hibs and Hearts, Aberdeen and Celtic, Aberdeen and name across the water, Celtic, the derby games, right? They should be able to be down south. I know finances can come into that, right? But why can they not have the hour beforehand as normal and then maybe 2 hours after the game where they go through all the big talking points, all the games, certain players, and actually give the game proper coverage because it then helps the Scottish game as well. See during the game as well. After the game finishes, advert, half time, 2 minutes, advert. 2 minutes, advert.
The actual when they resumed the game when the Celtic team was back out on the pitch, they actually said the half time took 19 minutes in all to happen. Stop subscribing. I heard there's boxes that pick games up. A guy sells them down the barras. There you go, folks. Get in touch with John. John knows who the guy is. Toby says, I'm a grass. I think Toby needs to look in the mirror and have a wee look closer to home. We've got our very own Lee Wallace in the comments. So there we are. So the man down the barras is going to have a lot of customers come the weekend. He'll be buzzing, Ryan.
Get your boxes £2 for £2
By the way, you get Celtic TV on that. It's because of interviews with Yang as well, John. Get yourself one, tune in, my man. He's learning English as well.
Exclusive day in my life of Yang.
Aye, it's just Yang, by the way. It's just Yang and Michael Aspel just sitting there for about an hour and a half, sitting there talking about all his days and all his guests that are coming in. All his guests that are coming in to see bits about his life and.
It's something we could talk about all day, JP.
Well, a bit before your time, Ryan. I'm not sure you know that programme, do you?
What's that?
This Is Your Life. Used to be a programme that was on the telly, mate. This Is Your Life.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've watched it.
Aye, like I says, it was a programme, and they used to pick like celebrities, and celebrities would go in, and it would then you would hear voices like on a VR and like an audio of somebody talking, and then you'd see them sitting there, oh my god, and like another celebrities, like people coming in. It was aye, Big Red Book, Toby. That's the one, mate. Big Red Book. I've probably hurt a lot of people's thingy here and they're away Googling. What's he talking about? This is your life. And away Googling that. There you go. See, every day's a school day. People learn when they come on here. Yeah, Plunge, we have turned down the offer for Alessandro Bernabei for Brazil. That was another one PLZ put out, but they've not took that one down. They've kept that. They've kept that on their page. Toby, I thought you had to go. What's going on? You've appeared back in these comments. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Ryan. We're like Pringles, mate. Once you pop, you just can't stop. You can't tune away. You can't get out.
That's what she says.
That's what she says, mate. Aye, that's what she says. Oh, dearie me, man. We're coming to the end. I can feel it. I'm not talking about the night, by the way. I'm talking about as a channel. Jesus.
She says as well. We're coming to the end.
No, I normally get, have you started yet?
Aye.
That's for an hour and a half. You talking about me started?
We're flat in between us, wasn't it? Hurry up, man.
Aye. Up my dancing, man. I start dancing like Big Neil and all that. Start body popping and everything. Just fully hum.
Oh,
brilliant, man. No, mate, we'll never change. Don't worry about that, Toby. We get better as the night goes on. We're nearly at 10 o'clock, man. Mate, see me at 10 o'clock. I look as if I've licked a battery and everything, man. It's brilliant.
we see me at 10:30.
We see him at half 10, man. He changes his hairstyle and everything and starts putting wigs on and makeup and all that. It's brilliant, man.
I know, at 10:30, I will Peter right.
Oh, my goodness, man. At half 10, I look like Michael Van Gerwen. I take this wig off, man. I look like big Andy Forum. Oh, brilliant, man. Somebody says to me the other day, JP, see when you put that wig on for the podcast, why do you never take it off in mid-podcast? Well, I don't want people to say I look like Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester. Uncle Fester.
Aye, I put my mouth on a light bulb and it turns on and all, by the way. It's brilliant. Full of electricity, me. But, no, it's been a good listen. It's been I know, obviously, we've came on tonight and it was meant to...
Too fat,
aye. 2 sports socks, 2 for £1. 2 for £1.
Get your sports socks.
One side of my table's got sports socks on it, and the other side of my table's got nice, fresh Paroka.
Paroka.
Paroka. And a couple of dodgy boxes.
Aye.
It's one of the aerials, but like Del Boy, who only fills in horses. You plug it into your one, you start landing planes.
Oh, brilliant, man.
A plane ends up in your veranda.
Aye. Hope you get better as well, David, soon, mate. Hope you get better soon, mate. Hope you get better. It's no good being no well, mate. So
David says, my missus thinks I'm upstairs trying to prevent her catching COVID. Peace and quiet to watch your podcast. Well, Mrs. Anderson, if you're watching, get up backstairs, see what he's up to. I'm only kidding on. That's a demon inside me, David. Sorry, mate. Sorry, I'm only joking. Listen, I hope you're feeling better, mate. There's nothing worse than feeling rubbish. And, aye, feel like getting beat. So, that'll not make you feel, that probably doesn't make you feel any better. On the plus side, what will make you feel good is looking at the league table and seeing that we're still 11 points ahead. And just hope we can, as you said earlier, Ryan, just kick on and build this momentum. Hope I've not kept you too long tonight. I know a lot of you are probably still watching the darts. I've seen some of you commenting about Littler's kicking ass. I've got one of the boxes, to be fair. If I put the thing me on, it's probably way back in the year that Peter Wright won the championship. So I've got I've got catch-up TV, but it just takes a while to catch up, Ryan, you know what I mean?
I still watch the football scores on CELTIC'S, I know, mate, so...
Aye. I know. I've still got Des Lynam doing match of the day in my living room now. I'm that far behind Davy Weir still plays with Rangers.
Brilliant, man.
Aye. Derek Barigter's just signed a 3-year deal with Celtic here, so it's absolutely unbelievable. Apparently makes his debut against Ross County and we don't see him again after that.
That's best 45 minutes I've ever seen somebody play now. And then that was him. Gone.
Aye. He was like the still game. It's gone.
It's gone.
So good it's away. Aye, he's that good he's away. Aye, George, you're not right. Perhaps he's still getting filmed in Govan. Aye. The captain factor still on my telly. That's how far back am I. Aye, Ryan saying who's Des Lynam? I know.
No, I know who he is. Don't worry about that plunge. I know I'm old, but I know I'm young. I'm not that young.
Jimmy Hill's still doing the football scores with him, man. Honestly, that's how far back. That's how far back am I.
Aye, and Bruce
Forsyth still doing player cards right on the telly on a Wednesday night.
Aye.
Tune in tonight, by the way. It's Friday. Quantum Leap's on at 10:30. Brilliant, man. Absolutely superb. That's how far back my box is. I think a lot of those still on the telly, I know. But listen, folks, have a lovely weekend. Cheers for tuning in, miss. If you're going to the game on Sunday, enjoy yourselves. I won't be there. I'm occupied with the family. Something else on, so I'm going to John's house to watch it off his mate's box. Hopefully I get in, because if Yang's playing, he'll probably not let me in, right?
I know.
It'll be my fault if he picks up.
No, at night, mate. Too much to drink.
Aye, no, not a night, mate. Aye, times you call this. I'll be like Winston delivering the pizza. I've ate half of it and you don't know, and then you open the box.
$9.95.
$9.95. Aye. Smash your window. You can't beat me. I am the pizza man. No, any excuses, Francis. Family comes first, I'm afraid, mate. So there's no excuses for that one, mate. As most of you probably know now, I've got a young family, so it is the day before my wee man goes back to school. So we're busy. But aye, it's been a mental 2 weeks off for them. It's been fast as well. For me, Ryan, I think Christmas and the New Year has flew in, mate, and it's went by really, really quick.
Aye, it's always the same, mate. You forget the day's Friday, because I actually thought it was Sunday because there was a game yesterday. So
my mum woke up. Do you know my mum woke up last Friday and thought that was Hogmanay?
It's the sort of time frame, mate, of the year where your days are all a bit behind me. But once again, I've been obviously doing my day job all the way through, really. So I've not really had a lot of time off in terms of weeks off and stuff. So to me, it's just normal. But it does get you thinking, the days, because of a game, it feels like a Monday. So, it's crazy, mate. But hopefully now that's us back to normal, and Christmas is finished now, mate. So now it's Valentine's Day and Easter and then everything else. So it's not the next one, isn't it?
Hold on a wee minute. My birthday's before Valentine's Day, so come on. we're not even thinking. Don't say that too loud in case she's watching up the stair. Don't you begin her ideas, by the way. Come on. Try to get by with Christmas and New Year, and you're going on to Valentine's Day and Easter. You've woke my veins up now, see? Wee man's got this on his telly up in the room, man. That's it. You woke him up now, you mentioned Easter, because he knows he gets chocolate. But listen, folks, as I said there, hope everyone had a great New Year, and I hope it is a great New Year for everybody in 2025, whatever you're up to. Hope you have got plenty of holidays and things to look forward to. And obviously, days out, if Celtic are doing well and ready to win these next two trophies, which is the League and the Scottish Cup, here's hoping we can get through in the Champions League as well. But we're back way before that, and we'll be doing your nuts in prior to that, and on here chatting a lot more nonsense before then, right? But we'll be back Monday, definitely. That'll be the next time you see us, Monday night, for the dial-in. So if you want to be part of it, let us know. contact us, do all the usual, jazz that you've got to do. Send us a message, let us know you want to come on, and we'll try and fit you in and give you a wee slot. As I said, with myself and Ryan, it's on Monday. That we know of just now. If that changes, we'll let you all know. In terms of if we add to that. But yeah, looking forward to it, Ryan. Be good to get the dial-in back. We weren't on Monday there, and that was because obviously the timing of it, and we had to get the derby one in as well.
It's always good to get thoughts for people as well, mate. So it's always good to get fans' opinions, and I'm guessing because obviously what's happened yesterday, there'll be a few fans wanting opinions, so we'll hopefully hear some from fans, mate, and hopefully chatting about a good victory as well.
Yeah, 100%. And like I says, it's a big year. It's going to be a big year for us as a channel. We've got lots more lined up for you. We've got live events all coming as well, so stay tuned for all that. And we will hopefully get a chance to see more of you in person if you can make it along this time. This time you'll be given more notice than probably the last one. And hope we can get more of you there that never made it along the last time. But for tonight and just now, I will say a massive hail.
Well, see you later on.
Looking forward to KT back in the hoops as well. He looks good there in the Dakota, I must say. With our gaffer. And
cheers, Stevie.
See you all again on Monday, guys. Take care.
Hail.
Bye-bye.